Welcome to the FEI Podcast, where financial leaders come to think forward, lead with confidence, and navigate what's next. For more than 95 years, Financial Executives International has brought together financial leaders to share insight, shape strategy, and elevate the profession. This is where those conversations continue. Real perspectives from the people making the decisions. Real strategies from inside the moments that matter most. What you see is the outcome. What shaped it is what we explore.
I'm Heather Cole, your host. As a finance leader, executive coach, and proud member of FEI, I'm here to bring you conversations that go deeper, from leadership and strategy to innovation and the future of finance. Because what shaped the outcome is often where the real lesson lives. If you've ever found yourself wondering, am I doing this right? You're in the right place. Let's get into it. Coming to you from the FEI Leaders Forum in San Antonio. Today, I'm joined by Kevina Purmanund, CFO of the 1826 Group, a global agency working with some of the biggest brands and artists in the world. This conversation is all about one of the biggest shifts happening in finance right now, how AI is changing the role of CFO, the speed of work, and the way finance teams learn, experiment, and lead. Kevina is not talking about AI from the sidelines. She is actively using it across her finance function, from dashboards and spreadsheets to revenue per head analysis, workflow design, and even building an internal expense management app. In this episode, you'll hear how one CFO went from wondering whether AI might replace her job to using it as a competitive advantage for not only herself, but her team as well. We'll talk about how to get started without feeling overwhelmed, how to bring your team along with you, and why human review and governance still matter a lot. We'll also discuss why curiosity might be one of the most important leadership skills in finance today. Welcome, Kevina. Yes, and today we're talking with Kevina. And Kevina, before we get started, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell everyone a little bit about yourself.
So I'm Kevina Purmanund. I'm a CFO for 1826 Group. We are a global agency and we work with the biggest brands and artists in the world. And I got into AI because we are in the conference space a lot. And I actually met an investor there and he gave me his vision about how AI is going to change. And this is where I had an epiphany where, oh my God, I'm not going to have a job soon. And I started diving into AI and I had an AI assistant, the note taker, and this is that where it would show up into meetings before me. And ChatGPT was my starting point when it was launched. I had the free version and then I moved to the personal and then I moved into the business. And then Claude after that, because right now Claude is a real hype with all CFOs. And now I got into Copilot as well. So I'm prompting all three tools. And if chat doesn't give me the response I want, I go to Claude and then I go to Copilot. Copilot is more personalized. I find it quite difficult the way it answers to me, but it's more thorough. So I go to the free tools and I prompt and then compares the answers. So it's good so far.
Yeah, I like that you're experimenting with many different tools because I think they keep leapfrogging each other, right?
They catch up with each other. For me, I want to be speaking about it and I'm learning, and you have to learn the tools to be able to speak about it. And that's what I'm doing. And I'm also implementing it. Like on ChatGPT has become my personal assistant. I got my AI assistant on that, and I think I'm using that more personally than anything now. And then Claude, I'm doing dashboards because I like the vision. It's beautiful dashboards. And Copilot, I got it because it's on my Excel, it's right there and it's easy to use. So I like that new feature where it's plugged in. And also what it did, I think now I have all my spreadsheets, I can upload that and on PowerPoint, it would just create a deck with that.
Isn't it crazy?
Yes.
What used to take us so long. I mean, I even think back like 3 years ago, it was like this work took so long and now it's like click, click. Oh,
Yeah, like projections, can you do a summary? And you would have a whole deck done for you, and then you can just need to edit it. Obviously, with one of my dashboards, it happened to me in Q1, right? And I made all this, and I was working so hard on getting the right format for the year, because once you have a format, you can save it and use it by just uploading the CSV. So I was working on that, but I missed an important income mistake from that. And I was so focused on getting something pretty that I forgot that. And eventually, you need to have the right review process. So with my team, I have my controller who's doing a review, and I actually have a final review. I never submit something straight away. This is like with AI, you always have to have that extra human to review and oversee everything you publish, basically.
What was the biggest win or the biggest thing that you or your team has used AI for that you were like, oh wow, this was like by far?
The recruitment sheet, so revenue per head, we have multi entities, and it's because we bill across, there's so much cross billing. And to get that sheet, that would take more than a week, right? And obviously, we've had a lot of iterations because we had to go, and a lot of it is we had to review our workflow and how we do things and correct things in the spreadsheet. And after this is done in 30 minutes now. And I had one of my accounting associate replicate the same work manually.
Do you have like a speed test? You start, we're gonna start over here. Ready, go.
Did. It was so funny. And guess who was right? The AI.
The AI was right. Yeah,
She did a mistake. I was trusting, I thought she would get it right, and then the AI would get it wrong. So I was like waiting, and my controller, she checked everything, and then I do a final review. So this is how we test everything we do. We have my accounting associate, they would do the work, and then my controller reviews, and then I do a final check.
So how did you get your team? Because we're seeing right now as more and more organizations are adopting AI in all new ways, we still have that, how do you say, the barrier resistance.
There's that fear. There's that
Yeah.
fear. I got my team on board because I shared that vision, right? After I met that investor, he had such an impact on me. And I was like, you guys, if we don't keep up with it, we won't have jobs, period. And I normally have a weekly accounting meeting every Mondays, 1 hour. So I added an extra hour where I started with demos showing what AI do. And it was a slow process, right? It wasn't we starting AI. I would show the demos and I'll get everyone on board. And I have two accounting associates. One is tech savvy. He's creating an app, a web app. He was so excited. He's my champion on the app we're creating for us. And the other one, she didn't know what NLM was, right? And you got to meet people at what they are. So one is helping me to do the manual work, and the other one is helping me with creating an app. And then my controller is helping me checking. So we're all on board with this. I'm very hands on with my team. So that Monday meeting, even if I'm not, like I'm at the conference this week, I would leave a demo for them. I would leave some work. We all have our projects on AI. And I know accounting gets busy, but it's really important to put the time. I put so much time after work, courses. I'm doing an AI accelerator course with Nicholas Busher. So Nicholas runs the Finance Club, and he has a cohort. He has so many CFOs. It's a great space to be in, and I've learned a lot. So I took my skills from, I wouldn't say I'm basic, I'm more intermediate to mastery of him. And the accelerator course is like an MBA class, right? You would go on prompting like a pro, and then agents, automations, everything. I'm still doing it. Like I'm struggling. This week was, I'm here.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's my flight on Sunday, but I still, every day is like, I have to do my workout. So I would encourage every CFO to find the right training for them. I've looked at a lot of courses. What has really impacted me was Nicholas Busher, because like there's so many updates with AI, and he provides this with AI Finance Club, so you don't actually have to think about it. It's like as soon as there's an update, you go on there and it's there. So it's a really good space for me to be in. I was looking at the Ivy League schools executive education, but it didn't give me what I wanted in finance. It's very difficult.
Yeah.
And I also follow a lot of demos, everyone who is an AI influencer. So like, cause you learn about the prompts, so I would encourage everyone to do this.
If they're looking, let's say I'm a CFO and I'm just dabbling, like I'm maybe playing with chat a little bit, but I'm feeling a little behind and feeling like, oh, I'll never catch up, right? I want to find a course. What would you recommend that they look for, like as they're because there's a million AI courses now.
So the finance one, Nicholas Fisher, is my favorite. I've looked at a lot and
So really keep it niche.
keep it niche. And then because he has all three, he does chat, Claude, and Gemini. It's all on there. So when I started with a free masterclass, so they could start seeing if they like what he presents,
Yeah.
follow him online, and then you learn prompting, you learn everything. And now I'm so obsessed with it. I joined the AI Finance Club, I'm doing the AI MBA. I don't even know how I have time for all this, because I'm still running an accounting.
Maybe you're having time because it's saving time.
I think so. I think so. Yes.
Yeah, it's amazing what it can do, but it's also kind of scary, right? Like it's
Security.
yes, governance, security.
So with this, I have an interesting story. I was speaking to one of my auditors last week, and he goes, Kevina, chat is great. I uploaded bank statements on it and it would take hours, but it did that in minutes. And I was like, do you know if it's SOC compliant? And did you redact the bank statements? He went quiet on the other side.
He didn't even redact the account numbers?
He went quiet. I was like, okay, which version are you using? He's like, the business. I was like, okay, you're good. The business and the enterprise is SOC compliant. So this is one less thing to think about. But what people don't understand, bank statements, social security, like all these sensitive information shouldn't be on AI, although, because it's on the cloud somewhere. I'm not comfortable with that. So anyway, after this, he was like, Kamina, what are you doing next? We might need some help with AI. So I was like, I think a lot of companies, especially mid-sized or small, they don't have an AI implementer or proper IT help right now. And it's so new, like people are not thinking about this. So it's really important that they have a proper risk assessment in that process.
Information. I don't know about you, but the information I put in chat and into some of these tools, I called my chat Clyde. And I think Clyde knows more about me than my husband does. Because I'm always asking it crazy questions. Are there any like fun prompts that you've done that you were like, oh my gosh, this was like the best?
Oh, so on my Copilot, one of the instructors, we've had the personalization. So it's kind of like add some humor and make it ironic. So this morning, it would tell me, I was like, I'm going on a podcast, please. And it said, oh, this sounds so bad. Why are you going to say this on a podcast? Its response every time it adds, so it would give me a spreadsheet or anything, but it would add something really funny to it. But it was on a personalization. So I like that. So I've put that on Copilot just to add some humor, but it was with one of my instructors from Nicholas Busher. Yeah. So this is one of the fun things, I guess.
Yeah, sometimes I'll ask it just crazy questions, or we did a really fun one day. We had it look us up online, and my husband and I did look us up online and give us a roast, as if you're giving a roast at a party, like a 50th birthday party or something. And some of it was absolutely hysterical. It was just really fun to see what its interpretation of you are online. Like it was like Heather can inspire anyone. And then it starts going into this really
It
funny
actually
thing.
knows you so well because I kind of like count my macros and protein, right?
Yeah.
And on my AI assistant, when I was setting my AI assistant, I would say, like count my macros and protein. It knew what day I was going to the gym. And I was like, how do you know this? Like,
It's like a stalker.
it is. Sometimes you don't remember because you go back on the chat, it doesn't remember. And this is where Claude project is really good. So if you save something you want, so there's various tools you could be using to save if something you'll be using for a long time. So I use Claude project for that. But yeah, the amount of things that it stores sometimes. I also have an AI clone, and that was taught by Nicholas Busher. So I've uploaded my resume, so think like Kevina as a CFO, and that helps as well because I get that response from that. So I would encourage everyone to set their own AI clone, especially as a CFO, so it would think from that lens.
It's interesting. I also have an AI clone that, is designed to think like me. And actually, I have multiple ones depending on my business. So for my coaching company, I have one. And for my tech company, I have a different one. And so what's interesting, I never thought about this, but one of the things that I used to do is I'd have an employee that was maybe bringing me their work and asking me to review it. And I would find myself constantly saying the same thing over and over again. And then I said to her, I'm like, okay. She brought me work. I said, do me a favor. I'm not going to look at this. Tell me what I'm going to point out in this work. Like, think like me, right? And all of a sudden she's like, well, you're going to say this, this, and this. And I'm like, okay, do that next time. But I wonder if there's a way you could almost take your clone and then have your team be able to, before they bring you their stuff, like, what would Kavina do? Or what, think like Kavina. Like, imagine that.
I think with agents, it's going on that route. I haven't explored that yet, but I would love to have that kind of automation. What I'm looking at is, and I'm still scared to do that, is on the Microsoft platform. I have a Mac right now. I'm going to invest on moving to Microsoft completely. With my Copilot, I want to have a proper desktop where it's only Microsoft, and I want to have my emails and all my agents. So it reads my emails. It goes to, there's such a workflow where it can read my email and do spreadsheet, and then it goes beyond and like instructions from one place to another.
Yeah.
And then it goes to my assistants and everything. So that's what agents do. And that's my next step. Right now, I'm still working on my web app. And again, I started this year because we needed an expense management app. And we all know how when you change that system, because we've changed our accounting, so our accounts payable software twice in 10 years. And that process is costly, training, it's painful, everyone's unhappy. So with my expense management app, I already started the implementation with another company. And I was like, you guys are not doing what I want. So I was like, why don't we build our own app? And then this is where my accounting associate, who's really tech savvy, came. He's my champion. He's done practically all the work, right? And we have an MVP right now, and I'm planning to launch that in July. So we're going to connect back to the company website, and everything will be done on there. Hopefully it will work, otherwise I'm going to get some more professional help. But it was all Claude coding, so it's possible. And you ask it.
Yeah, you don't need to be a coder anymore. That's what's amazing. I have a friend that went and built a really amazing app, and she's like, Heather, I don't code. I just use Base 44, and I just over the weekends just created. It's such an interesting time for the curious mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
And especially people who are tech savvy, they love it, right? Jake, my assistant, loves it. He's showing me that like product, he's changing the format all the time. He's like this, and he's like, you know, like color, I'm gonna update it. Like kind of, he's so keen on it. And I think with your team, you need to create that.
So you obviously spent a lot of time learning in class. What are your recommendations for other CFOs? Like, how many hours a week should they, minimal, do you think they should commit to learning, diving in, experimentation, and doing?
start small, right? Start small. Get the tool which your organization have, right? If they don't have one, invest on the business one. It's not expensive. And then I would say spend 1 or 2 hours a week, start small, take that spreadsheet you hate, right? Take that spreadsheet you hate and ask it, like, how can I start prompting with it? How can I have a better month and put the ERP using your process and ask questions? And this is how it would start. And then slowly after that, see what courses you would use. And I've done a lot, and then I've settled for the AI Finance Club right now. After this, my next step would be executive education at an Ivy League school, because the networking there is really good with AI, and an executive coach speaking as well, because I'm going to be speaking more about AI as I go.
So you've really embraced getting instructors, getting coaches. I think there's probably a lot of people watching, listening to this podcast that haven't invested in themselves. I always laugh because they'll invest a lot of money in little Johnny's soccer coach, like if they're a goalie or something, but they don't invest in themselves. Like, what are your advice? Like, what benefits have you received because you do have an executive coach that you work with?
Confidence, confidence, and to push yourself and to build and to learn new things. I joined Chief like 3 years ago, and that was inspiring to be around all these women. And then this is what prompted me to get an executive coach. And now the coach has helped me into believing in myself, that I can create a brand, that I can be in AI, that I can lead in that space. So I don't think, as a CFO, I was just thinking finances, money, and running that. I didn't see that other side of thing. And please go out there and like get the help you need. An executive coach has been so valuable to me. And right now I'm even considering getting one for my public speaking, because I'm going to be speaking more. And this is new, like for me to be on this podcast. And I came with my notes, and no, I'm not with notes now.
Took them away. Well, this has been amazing. Is there anything else you'd like you're like, hey, I just want to get this out there? Last kind of
So AI will perform with speed, but the human side of things, you should always review your work, right? Please do not trust it, because the hallucinations are real. I met with Troy and Ryan yesterday and they have this auditable AI tool, right? Like proprietary. And I didn't ask a question when it was question time, but I went afterwards and I was like, so I normally ask AI to audit my spreadsheets or my work afterwards to give me an audit as if they were the auditor to audit their work. And he told me, go every single day, go on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You'll see that you would have a different audit.
a different answer from them.
Yeah, every day. And I didn't think of that. I was like, I got an audit report. We're going to review this. And he was like, the hallucinations are real, right?
Mhm.
So please always review your work. Do not trust it blindly.
Yeah, I think that is a great lesson learned. Kevina, thank you so much for joining us. I loved having you here. You're such an inspiration in your dedication to growth, to learning, and being a role model for your team. I think a lot of people are going to enjoy what you had to say. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Heather.
Kevina, thank you so much for joining me today on the FEI podcast and sharing with us such an honest and practical and energizing look at AI and how it's reshaping the finance and leadership. What I loved about this conversation is that you're not waiting for the future of finance to arrive. You're actively experimenting, learning, testing, and bringing your team along with you. You remind us that AI isn't just about speed, it's about curiosity, better questions, smart workflows, and the courage to completely rethink how work gets done. A few takeaways that really stand out. First, start small. Take a spreadsheet, report, or process you hate and begin there. Second, don't adopt AI blindly. Governance, security, human review, and good judgment matter more than ever. And third, bring your team with you. Create a safe space to experiment, learn, and even make mistakes. And finally, invest in yourself. The leaders who thrive in this next chapter in the world of AI are the ones that are going to be willing to keep up learning, seek out coaching, and build new muscles before they're forced to use them. So here's my challenge to our listeners today. This week, do not just read another article about AI. Open a tool. Pick a real workflow. Ask better questions. Test it. Review it. Experiment. Learn from it. Then bring one person on your team to experiment with you. The future of finance will not belong to people who wait for everything to be perfect. It will belong to the curious, courageous, and the leaders who learn out loud. Kevina, thank you for being such a powerful example and inspiration for us all. I'm Heather Cole, Executive Advisor and host of the FEI Podcast, coming to you from the Leaders Forum in San Antonio. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Your career doesn't grow in isolation. It grows in rooms, relationships, and real conversations. So here's your next move. Expand your network through the FEI network, because the right connections increase your net worth and your impact. Plug into the programs, the people, and the community, and keep showing up until opportunity recognizes your name.